There's George. Hi, Georgie.
Hi, George.
How you doing, buddy?
What are you doing? What's he doing? He says, I'm gonna star in this Poe-Cast episode. Yes, I am. I'm also gonna fall off Christopher's lap. I'm going down. Bye!
So, hello and welcome to the Poe-Cast. I'm Benjamin and I should get closer.
Yeah.
And I am Christopher, and I'm already exactly where I need to be.
Yeah, he's eating food.
Nom, 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 nom.
This is going to be another word vomit episode, but you know, it's whatever. We've been drooling over some of the new miniatures that Games Workshop has been releasing, like their Bolgrin. Oh my gosh. I don't remember if we ever talked about Ogrins, but the Imperial Guardsmen I know we've talked about. They're all about shooting and tanks, and when you have infantry, they kind of get squished. That's what the Ogrin come in. The Ogrin are essentially bigger and not so squishy, and their bullets hit harder. But now they have new units, and their newest unit is a Bolgrin, who's essentially an Ogrin, which they gave a riot shield and a giant mace, and they just said, go charge that thing over there. And then they squish everything in their path. Of course, they also have that new cool truck thing.
Basically,
and the Militarium Tempestus.
Basically, aren't Bolgrins and Ogrins a sort of
Ogre.
basically ogre?
They're pretty much ogres, yeah. But
They're
somehow dwarves have died out, which makes me mad. But Ogrin lived on, and so did Ratlings, the kind of hobbit people. They're the snipers. Yeah, they're the snipers for the Imperial Guardsmen. Have you not seen Ratlings? They're essentially hobbits.
Rat.
They're the cooks and the snipers. Sniper scouts.
What are they called?
Ratlings. They're the, yeah, right there. They're the,
I can't believe this.
They are the snipers and cooks for the Imperial Guard, also known as the Astra Militarium. They've been updated with a new name. And
They're like humanized versions. They're not Skaven.
they're not Skaven. I never said they were Skaven. They're like hobbits, except meaner
Okay.
and worship the Emperor. But cool fun fact: one of the Ratlings, who was the chief cook, he was on a scouting mission with his cousins and stuff with the Imperial Guard when they were fighting the Tau. He has the first recorded kill on an Earthreal that the Imperial Guard did. They were pretty much sitting there, and he got up this hill. They saw a bunch of Tau tanks sitting around. They're like, "What's that over there?" And then this Tau gets out in white robes, which all the Tau bow to, and he's like, "Well, he must be important." Raises a sniper rifle and shoots him in the head. Thus ended the Tau assault on the planet because they no longer had a leader. They're like, well, our angelic herald just got murdered by a bullet from nowhere. And then he went back home, everyone cheered him on, and then he made dinner for the entire Imperial Guard army.
That is hilarious. So I am very excited that several of the Bretonnian models have become available again.
Yay!
We've got our individual boxes for the archers, the peasant bowmen, the men-at-arms, the knights of the realm. Those are all back available again. And if you've noticed, Faerie has changed a little bit. They're going to a different type of resin. And I love the pictures of the new pictures of the king. He looks really, really cool. Much better than the old king. That's the new king. And somewhere in here, I've got the old king to show Benjamin whenever he...
Old king?
Old king,
I forgot. Here is Dr. Wog. I was telling you about him.
Dr. Wog.
Here's a picture of Dr. Wog. He is an orc.
What?
He's an orc mech who's riding.
No.
It's a custom scratch build.
I refuse.
The Necrons have this really cool floating thing that they ride into battle, and essentially someone made an orc who's riding it into battle.
No.
If you look over here,
No.
Look, he's got a Necron axe, and he's also got a Necron magic artifact. So,
No.
oh come on,
Where's the
cool. He's got okay. At least admit he's got an awesome trench coat.
He does have an awesome trench coat.
He does.
Okay, where have I stuck pictures of the king?
And
He's up here somewhere. Here he is.
He has a
Here he
prayer
is.
tag. He has a Imperial Guardsman
So,
prayer tag.
this is the old king.
Ooh, yeah, old king.
Old king. New king.
Oh, so many feathers.
Old king.
Old king.
New king.
He even got
Semi-old king.
Semi-old king.
Huh?
Semi-old king.
Wait a minute.
Semi-old king.
Hey, he has gone a little bit more gray, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's cool.
Also, does that look more like a scar now to you?
Yeah, it does.
As opposed to... I think he's received some wounds.
Oh yeah, I'm sure because the storylines have been continuing. Games Workshop's been doing their campaigns, and life goes on.
Life goes on. Hopefully, we'll get an update in a month or two.
Orks, please give me more orc updates.
Well, I've got to show you my units.
Units. Uh oh, he's got new units. We should play the Zelda item discovery here.
So, what have you seen? Have you seen my Grail Knights?
I think I've seen your Grail Knights. I know I've seen your King Lowen.
Here's some Grail Knights.
Ooh.
I'm in the process of painting them.
Yeah.
I love their little hanging bits.
The little hanging bits. They got cool stuff on their capes.
Yeah, they do. So, the new guys that you haven't seen
Are the Foot Knights.
are the Foot Peoples. So, here's some of my reliquary.
I've seen your reliquary.
Have you?
I think so. You showed it to me.
Oh, I think you've seen pictures.
Yeah, and your wonderfully done green stuff hoods.
Oh, thank you. Here, we need to make sure that this is in a position where we can
Still be heard, yeah.
So,
and the peasants walking with a sword and a little thingy.
I love the triptych that I'm gonna put up.
He's just like, please.
Yeah. All right, but enough of them. I will put them back.
Enough of them. Let's see these Foot Knights. They got some
Men
awesome
at
banners.
Men at arms. So these guys do not have shields on them yet because their shields are freaking huge.
Yeah, they are. I'm planning on, if I ever get my Imperial Guardsmen, I'm going to put some shields on their conscripts.
These guys are all going to get shields like the knights. So they're going to be running around like little Foot Knights. Here's another one.
So much detail put into these things.
Thank you.
I mean...
as you'll see, I've been very careful.
Oh, there's the monk.
With all their heads. Yes,
there's
that's
the
my
monk.
Drunken monk.
Drunken monk. Oh my gosh, he has every barrel possible and like 3 flasks. No, 2 tankards and a flask. And he looks very angry too. He looks like he's ready to deal some damage. He is not happy.
Yeah.
It's like
it's because his cousin isn't drinking.
Uh oh.
He's doing what he's supposed to do in the army. So here are all my halberdiers.
Halberds.
And you can pick them up and look at them and.
A lot of armless guys, but you said that's because you're still doing the shield. Oh, I like how you put his helmet there. Oh, it came with... that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Another one of the Foot Knights.
With an eagle.
I wanted to have the falcon on somebody.
Falcon. I can't name birds.
Here's another one.
I have a falcon nesting Mrs. Cooper, we call her, on a tree outside our house, and I still call her a hawk. She's a falcon. Or actually, no, she's a hawk. This is a falcon.
Yeah.
I can't get stuff for... See, I don't know what's what.
You just know it works. So
I
bowmen.
do know it works.
Lots of bowmen. I've been very careful with all their heads because as I've talked about before, there are a lot of the Bretonnian peasant heads which look like they're dying.
Lepers. Unclean. This guy almost looks like he has a Dalek coat. You can almost make him a Dalek. Like a humanized Dalek. No. Okay. 40. Too much 40K? Christopher's like, nope. No. He's got all the little bumps all over his greatcoat.
They're metal studs. So, but yeah, I used, as you can see, Knight Errant helmet.
Yeah.
And, I've really had a lot of fun putting all the different little bits on these guys.
Ooh, who's this? What's this? That's,
It's a raven.
It's a raven.
And yes,
he gets his own base?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I had extra bases. I was like, I'm going to put a raven on
Oh my gosh, did you see there's a new release. It's called The Great Chase. I think it's in the fantasy section, but it's the Orks, and it's a tiny squig, a garrote, and a big squig. And it's called The Great Chase. And the whole joke is you can't tell who's chasing who.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to look that up now.
It is hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with all these guys. I think I have topped 100 miniatures in my Bretonnian army. I know I don't have 100 knights. That's my goal, is eventually to have 100 knights in my Bretonnian army. I'm not there yet. I want to increase my footmen before I hit 100 knights, because right now my army is like
All knights.
like 2/3 knights. Oh, have you seen my actual foot knights?
I don't think you... Oh, yes, actually. Yes, you did show me these guys.
Yeah, because basically all those foot knights that I showed you basically are squires.
Ah, gotcha.
These are the real foot knights.
These are the guys who are like, I'm getting off the horse. Let me show you how this is done.
Yeah. Which they'll fill out my men-at-arms and things as champions and stuff like that. But yeah, those guys I'm going to have a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my drunken monk.
Drunken monk.
You just got to have the drunken monk.
You do have to have a drunken monk. I mean, I have a dwarf drunken monk. Of course, he's for Pathfinder, but you know, I still have the model, and he looks awesome. And he's currently posed on my desk to fight the black orc.
Yay!
Pretty much, he's constantly fighting.
Did you ever finish painting the black orc?
Yes, I did.
Yay!
I think I posted a picture on Facebook.
I'm gonna have to go look at that because I don't remember him.
Because
I'm sure I've seen it, but I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take this back.
Take that back.
So Benjamin can start talking about something.
Talk about what? Oh, is it orc time?
Oh no!
Yay! It's orc time. No, but I really have been neglecting my orcs lately. It's been bad. I've been spending a lot of time on the Daka forums looking at conversions and scratch builds. Like, there's one really awesome one which I was showing Christopher. It's an orc commissar, and Christopher couldn't find it because he spelled it wrong, and then I couldn't find it because I spelled it even worse. And I should have known better because I was an orc. He was commissar with a K and 2 Z's, not a C and 2 S's. But he looks... Oh my gosh, whoever made him completely scratch made him. He has a giant greatcoat. Compared to an orc compared to Fragbutt, if anyone's seen pictures of Fragbutt, he's a head taller than Fragbutt. He's huge. And his boss pole is probably one of the highlights. It's huge. On the 2 points of the cross, it has a head from every army hanging in a bag or hanging from a chain. And it has the giant Wog Banner skull at the top. And then, literally crucified on his boss pole is a full Necron, like, overlord or something. Pretty much is like, you know what? I'm not going to take your head. You're going to be my trophy. And then they just tied this thing to a boss pole, which he carries on his back, and he's got an angry Necron hanging from his boss pole, yelling at him every day. And his Mega Claw is awesome. Because it's not just a clamp with blades, it's saws. And he's got a giant gun, and he also has a battle axe on his back. He inspired some new stuff, which I'm probably going to do with Fragbutt later. But people will see that as that happens.
I'm a little bit worried.
Oh, you should be. But it's actually fun. When we were doing HVZ this semester, one of my friends who plays Warhammer, he and I were talking. And he was talking about he used to play as fantasy orcs, and he might give me his old black orcs, which means I might get some flash gits, which would be proper orc plural for flash gits. Flash gitses. More boys! More boys!
Flash Gitzers.
Flash gitses.
That sounds right, doesn't it?
Yeah. Flash Gitses in the orc army. They're pretty much the only orcs that can shoot straight. And they were knobs who, like, loved guns so much and armor that they pretty much can't walk. Because find something that's cool, they take it as a trophy. And the war boss is like, I want that. They pretty much stomp on the war boss's foot and tell him no. And then get kicked out of the tribe. And then they slowly get together. Usually Flash Gitses turn into pirates, which are the freebooters. and they travel the galaxy just pirating. Living the jolly Orky pirate
Which
life.
I have to say, I love the, like, classic, Captain Hook pirate flash kits.
Captain Badrock.
Captain Barrett, he just looks so awesome.
But you know what his gun is, don't you?
I know what his gun is.
His gun is terrible. Like, the bullets are dipped in radiation, and his gun is also pouring out so much radiation that he literally wears a lead-lined greatcoat to keep himself from dying.
I know, but he looks awesome.
Any units within, like, 4 inches of him, including friendly, get damaged by the radiation. You literally can't put him with anyone because his gun is so deadly, even when it's not shooting.
I just want to do, like, a Captain Hook and his crew orc battalion.
Oh my gosh. Please do. Please do.
Like me, the orc.
Oh no.
Just imagine your...
An orc who wants to be distinguished and is leading the battalion. Then there's this one orc who's just the normal orc, and it's the only one who comprehends his orders, but it's the stupid, "Oi, let's go and smash things, boss. We's distinguished pirates, we is. We's not doing that. I got the ship wheel, Captain. Don't turn the..." The ship just careens into the planet. Now we got to get another ship wheels.
Just imagine your Peter Pan the Musical
Oh no.
done as orcs.
It's them bleeding mermaids. Clocks himself in the head with the oar. Speaking, oh gosh, but I was talking with my friend. I actually learned something new about orcs yesterday, which I did not know.
Yeah.
So we all know about orcs. I may not have talked about this on the Poe-Cast. Orcs. The only reason stuff works for orcs is because they believe in it. Like, they believe that vehicles will go faster with red paint. So they slather their vehicles in red paint, and they actually get a speed boost from it. And they believe blue is a lucky color. So anything that's important, they just layer it in blue paint, and it actually gets some benefits from it. This is the new thing that I learned. Their color for sneakiness and stealth is purple. I mean, think about it. Have you ever seen a purple orc, Christopher? No, you haven't. Which means they're sneakier when they have purple on them.
I can't believe this. I genuinely cannot.
But I mean, think about it. Have you seen a purple orc?
No.
No, you haven't. So it's gotta be working. They just slather themselves in purple war paint and purple shirts, and then they just step into they just stand next to you, and also they just disappear. They're just like, this is ridiculous! They're just gone. The Imperial Guardsman sees something purple, he's like, what's that? Oh, must have been something tricking my eyes or something, I don't know. And then he just dies. Everyone's like, what happened?
Must be those mermaids.
Must be them mermaids. Purple mermaids. Actually, because of working with my army, trying to do clashing color schemes, I was thinking about making my flash kits purple, but they're not sneaky.
What you really need to do is do some orcs with war paint.
I'm going to try that more. It's just really hard for the blue to show up, and since I'm not using royal blue, I've been using regal blue, it's hard for the royal blue to show up on their skin. It works great with my red orc, who I need to recolor him a bit because now his story has changed to be with Big Mech Iron Nuts.
Yeah.
And Games Workshop is finally releasing Ork Techies, so I might get some Ork Techies with my Big Mech.
Yay.
Not Ork Techies, Goblin Techies. Grot Techies.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, Grot Techies. They're awesome. I mean, they carry a monkey wrench that's bigger than them.
Yeah.
And the orcs are like, this'll work, just go fix that. Okay, boss, we can't reach the top. Could you give us a ladder? No, figure it out, yeah. And they just kind of make a grot tower. And then they get the thing attached, and then they just drop, and there's one grot hanging from a monkey wrench, and he's not heavy enough to twist the nut. He's like, you! They all grab him and start pulling him, stretching him. And then by the time they realize that they can't get spin around, it's because they're actually tightening the bolt and not loosening it.
That would be exactly what they would
That
do.
would be the... It isn't working. Finally, the Big Mac's just like, come here, you idiots. Spins it the other way. Oh, that's how it works. What do you know?
Okay, but here's the thing. You would have to model this. You'd have to do a before and after of the same grot and have him stretched out to be as tall as a regular orc.
That poor little grot, though. I mean, let's be honest. He'd split in half before he stretched.
Let's believe that he won't split in half.
Let's believe he won't split in half. Oh gosh. You can do that with Nurglings. You can't do that with Grots. Nurglings will stretch. Grots
Says who?
Nurglings are little piles of slime. They're like little
But here's the thing.
flubbers.
Orcs believe that purple makes them sneaky.
Oh gosh.
And red makes them go faster.
I believe I won't die. Therefore, I won't die. It's just his head laying in the middle of the battlefield. You can't kill me. Come back here, I'll bite your kneecaps off. It's just his head.
We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do the orc Yorick head which refused to die.
Oh, I do have to make a tip of the hat to Commissar Yorick. I mean, since I've been studying more on orcs.
Talk about Yorick. You were telling me
Yorick is an awesome Imperial Guard commander. I think he was fighting Ghazghkull Thraka. I think that's
the big
huge orc named guy. That's his nemesis.
Yeah.
But this was like one of his henchmen. He was fighting in a battle with one of Ghazghkull's henchmen, another big boss. And he ended up getting a big sword fight. And, you know, orcs are, 3 meters tall? 2 meters tall? 2.5 at least.
2.5 to 3, yeah.
Yeah, usually the bosses are at 3 and humans are just 2 meters, 1.5. And he got in a fight with this war boss. And the war boss had a big mega claw and ended up cutting off Commissar Yorick's gun arm. Commissar Yorick then proceeded to slash, stab, kick, bite, and headbutt an orc war boss to death while he's got a stump bleeding out. Beats the orc to death, cuts off its head, lifts the head into the air. All the orcs see that their war boss has been killed. They run in terror, and then Commissar Yorick passes out. He wakes up in the medic bay. You know, he's got a cybernetic bandage at least. They're getting ready to put a cybernetic replacement on him. He's like, no. Where is the Mega Claw? They're like, what? Where's the Mega Claw that cut my hand off? They're like, you're not getting that. He's like, I want the bleeping claw that cut my bleeping arm off. Where the bleep is it, and what have you done with it? And they're like, oh, okay, we'll go get it. And they give him the claw that cut off his arm, and that replaces his cut off arm. He literally carries an orc mega claw as an arm. And he also has a really cool eye emplacement that shoots lasers out. He gets an extra shot in turns.
Okay, that's a bit weird, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this guy hates orcs, especially Ghazghkull Thraka. Pretty much, Ghazghkull showed up in Armageddon, blew the planet up, huge war for about 200 years. Ghazghkull Thraka finally had to pull out. Comes back 70 years later, and Yorick is somewhere else stationed somewhere. He hears that Ghazghkull's back, and he ignores the Emperor's orders and goes back to Armageddon to fight Ghazghkull Thraka.
Sweet.
Which is even cooler. There was this guy who betrayed Commissar Yorick, and he got captured by the Orks, and he's actually an Orc commander. I don't know what rulebook he's in, but you see him. Yeah. He's available to sail. He's available in the Games Workshop, and he comes with a bunch of knobs. Really cool that there's a human commander for the Orcs. I don't remember his name.
Wait a minute, human commander for the Orcs?
Yeah, because he...
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Because, you told me this story.
Yeah, he betrayed... I don't remember the whole story. He betrayed Commissar Yorick, and then the Orcs took him prisoner, quote-unquote. Or they believed him to be, but then he showed back up with Ghazghkull Thraka leading a battalion of Orcs, and they're like, wait, whoa. I thought you were dead. He's like, nope, you guys abandoned me. We didn't really abandon you. We thought you were dead. You abandoned me. It's time for revenge.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the things happen to orcs because they believe it. Just you could totally write a like comedy book based on that.
There is a comedy book. It's called Death Squadron. I told you about this. Killboy is a nutcase. That guy is literally 90% robot. He's like Darth Vader of the orcs. Except he's a hotshot pilot. And the reason he's a hotshot pilot is because he's blown up a plane with every mission and survived. He's taken out more planes than he's wrecked. Ooh! Have I told you about War Thunder? Other than you should play it. It's a really cool online
Tell me
game.
again, because I'm not remembering.
Really cool online game. I recommend this to people if you like flying games. It's the best flying combat simulator I came across. And the best part, it's free to play! It pretty much pits you in battles against other players, and you fly different World War II planes.
Right.
The Axis and the Allies. The interesting thing is, you're not necessarily, it's all the Allies team and the Axis team. It's just mix and match, and you just fly around and kill each other.
Right.
Which, but it depends on if you're playing arcade mode, it's mix and match. If it's realistic, they try not to mix and match you, and you have limited ammunition. And then when you play historic battles, you start from the runway with limited fixed amount of ammunition. If you want to reload, you have to fly back and land. Which it gets really interesting when you're at sea battles and you only have a carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't done realistic or historic battles yet. I want to get better at arcade battles first.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a really fun game. And, I kind of want to have people who I know to fly with me. I've been having fun.
You're trying to
I recently got a bomber, and apparently no one knows how to use the bombardier position. Because when you go to the cockpit view, you hit the really cool interior cockpit, but not for the PBY or any bomber. It just goes to the bombardier position, which is looking straight down.
Right.
And for a bomber, that's great, because I'm flying at 3,000 feet, and I'm just up there where all the fighters can't get me because I can fly so high. And I'm just flying, I'm looking at ground targets and dropping bombs whenever they get my little target reticule. The other I was flying with about 5 PBYs, the game started. All of a sudden, those 4 other PBYs tilted and dove. Because they're all in third person, and then there's a target reticule that appears at a certain height above the ground. So they're all flying in perfect range for AAAs and fighters. And I'm sitting up there with my bombardier, just okay, drop a bomb, 5 minutes later it hits the targets.
Yeah.
And then the best part was I looked down, someone's like, "There's fighters coming after you, Pie Wing!" And I look, and these 3 fighters come up, and they stall out because I'm so high, and then they just drop. It's like, come get me! Eventually, a jet came after me. Now, this is a fun thing. I told my dad about this. A jet came after me. It was one of those Me-37s or something that the Germans had.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't have any bombs. All I have are waist gunners and a nose gunner, and he's not going to be behind me. I'm just going to dive. So I did a 60-degree dive.
Woo!
And I didn't even turn on the air brake, just went full throttle. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to go out with style. He's on my tail. And at about 300 feet, I pull back. I ended up pulling 7 Gs. My pilot got 99.9% blackout.
Whoa!
I recover consciousness. Your screen goes black if you pull too many Gs.
Right.
But you still fly. You just can't see anything. It comes back. Everything's black and white. And I look back. The jets had pulled up with me, but the tension, his wings snapped off. Mine almost did. And he just goes...
Yes!
And over voice chat, someone just goes... I was like, thank you. I have no ammunition. Someone escort me to the landing strip. Because I did not expect to survive the pullback. I was like, my wings are going to snap off. And they didn't. They just went into the red zone.
I don't know how...
I'm looking at my little heads-up display, and my wings are bright red. I was like, how did that not happen?
I don't know how you survived. Well, this has kind of been the Ork-Cast today.
Well, yeah, just a little bit. I mean, it was just kind of word vomit.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, and then we're like,
Good
hey,
story.
guess what? You should check out this. But, I'm Benjamin.
I'm Christopher.
Oh, and I should talk about the email. We should blah, blah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Contact us through all those social mediums.
Yeah, and it's usually the Poe-Cast.
Just
a hyphen between Poe and Cast, except for our email, which is the Poe-Cast at Gmail. Well, Poe-Cast2119 at
something.
gmail.com.
It's just something. Just
Anyways, I'm
listen.
Benjamin.
Just listen to us. I'm Christopher,
And this
and
is the Poe-Cast.
we're done.
Yeah.
Bye.